What's up guys, what's going on? Starsnipe here video. Today we are back. Sorry if I sound kind of crappy. First off, got back from PAX feeling a little bit sick. Actually my congestion got a lot better, which is good news. But when I got off the airplane, things were awful because I had airplane ears. And I am still currently deaf in one ear. So that's fun. Hopefully that cures itself. But while I was at PAX, I got my hands on a game that actually turned out it is easily in my top 3 for the games I played at PAX. Problem is, I played about 5 games at PAX, and they were all really good, but this game is known as Dead by Daylight, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. So before I continue more, I did want to say a couple things about the gameplay. First off, as you guys can probably see by the little watermark I added, it is a little bit of an early build of the game because it was specifically for PAX and everything. And also, there is no audio. That music you guys hear, I just added in post-production. But the setup I had with my Elgato game capture, the audio wasn't going through the HDMI, and I didn't realize that till a little bit too late. So unfortunately, there is an audio, and it is actually a decently big deal in the game, and you guys will see why as I explain it. But first off, you probably want to know what the game is, and I will do my best in explaining that. So, Dead by Daylight, it is coming out within the next month or two, I think, is a 4v1 procedurally generated, not procedurally, randomly, something like that, don't quote me, but pretty much it's like the map like area is the same, but everything, all the placements of like these generators you see, some traps, all that stuff is a little bit more on the randomized side. I can't English today. And pretty much what it is a 4v1 asymmetric multiplayer, and the fact that there are 4 survivors. Currently there is no in-game communication for the survivors. You can't actually talk before the game starts when you guys are gathering at like this campfire type thing. But once in game, the survivors can't actually communicate. You guys can't see each other and everything, but that can probably easily be solved by hopping in Skype or hopping in TeamSpeak, Discord, something like that. And they're going to, I was talking with them a little bit, they are not sure on the plan for adding in-game voice chat, but hopefully that does make its way in eventually. I feel like that'd be a pretty good addition. But 4v1 asymmetric multiplayer, and pretty much it is these 4 survivors. Their goal is to escape this wicked area. By that, there is a murderer, very scary person attempting to kill all of them. However, the killing isn't normal, but before I get to the whole killing aspect, I'll talk about the survivors and how they win. So, the survivors are not really able to damage the killer. The killer doesn't have health to my knowledge. But actually there are not classes, but there's stuff you unlock in-game as you play and you progress. Currently, I think the survivors and the killers, they were like leveled up to level 20 and they kind of had presets going. But they do unlock special, kind of like perks pretty much. They get their own little perks that they can equip and use with that. But that just kind of affects the way they play, and the main way they play is they don't damage the killer. All they can do is run away. How do they know that the killer is coming? Well, in game, and this is why I said sound is kind of important, and why I'm kind of salty I couldn't figure out the sound aspect for recording, is as the killer nears, you actually can begin to hear your heart speed up with its beating. So that's why you can kind of see me sometimes like randomly, I'll just be like, oh god, I'll start running in this gameplay, and you guys might be like, why did he decide to start running all of a sudden? Like, is he cheating? Did he know the killer's there? No, your heart begins to speed up very quickly once that happens. But the thing is, the killer, he can't actually, unless there's perks or nothing, but in this gameplay, he can't actually see you, so you can't hide in grass, hide behind cover and all that. Well, he can see you, but it's not like there's an outline or anything like that. And here, let me explain this part. With the generators, you're supposed to repair these generators, and you have to pass a skill check when that happens. So you saw that circle was popping up. What happens with that circle is that I have to hit left shift, or my kind of action key, in the right area, and there you just saw me absolutely juke the killer, which I was insanely lucky about, and I actually somehow get away, which is ridiculous. But oh, there you can actually see one of my friends there too. But there, the thing I just passed by, you kind of could see that it said space to pull down. So as the survivors are running away, they can pull down these kind of obstacles if the killer's chasing them. And the killer can't jump or anything. I don't think survivors can either, but both can vault over stuff. But the killer can't vault over that crap. He actually has to break it. So that is the best way for survivors to get away. If they can't stay hidden, they have to use kind of these obstacles. And here you can see the killer gets to me. He hits me, so the first time he hits me, he'll actually stun me. And slowly, I will begin getting slower. The killer is naturally a little bit faster than the survivors. And then once he gets stunned, you actually see here, he can take me down. Then I start crawling. Once I start crawling, I'm going to be really slow unless one of my friends saves me. And here you can see he actually is going to use a special ability, which pretty much he mutilates me. So normally the killer is supposed to take me to hooks and sacrifice me or let me bleed out. Here, after a while, this was I think one of the perks actually, is that he can just flat out murder me on the ground. That's not something that happens all the time though. But the survivors, what you're supposed to do is get away from the killer, stay hidden, do all that crap, and you, however, do have to activate some generators. So, by activating these generators, there are 3 generators on the map. I was kind of talking about them. You have to pass the skill check and all that. Once you activate the 3rd generator, and it does take a while to repair them and everything, I think you can find like items on the ground like repair kits, which speed up the process. But once all 3 are repaired, an opening or an escape from the map will be revealed. And you have to, one of the survivors have to go and open it, and then everyone can flee out of there and escape this wicked place. But the killer knows when you start messing with the generator, and the killer I think can also potentially look at that, not look at the escapes, but look after them and make sure people don't get to him. But the killer can actually see sound, and you can kind of see it as a survivor sometimes too, where you saw like kind of a red outline of like a generator pop up or something. That means that there was a sound being created. So when you fiddle with the generator, it's pretty damn loud, and then the killer can see that, and the killer uses sound, kind of like echolocation. He's like a goddamn bat, and he can find people and all that. Now the killer here, and this is actually kind of a good way to show it, because when I was playing a survivor, I was just running around the entire time. What he can do is there are hooks throughout the map. Once you're crawling, he can capture you and throw you over his shoulder, and then he can throw you on a hook. Once you are on a hook, you begin the sacrificial process. So pretty much you can be saved from here. You can also be saved once you're crawling, but you can see he's attempting to escape. So attempting to escape is like a really low % chance of getting out of it and actually escaping. But if you fail, which is very likely since it's a low % chance of succeeding, you actually speed up the bleeding process. So it's kind of a risk versus reward scenario. Here, this is the last survivor, so it kind of does make sense that she is trying to escape. But then these hooks get like very demonic. I don't understand this aspect, but they get very demonic. You get lifted to the sky and you get sacrificed. And here you can see that the killer did win. He sacrificed 3 of us and mutilated me, so I got the fun of death while everyone else got to die by sacrifice, which is great. But yeah, that's how it works. That's how the killer goes about doing it. What he does, kind of as a recap, the killer... oh yeah, also, you'll actually see here, and when I hop into the killer, but the killer can also... I don't know if it's a perk, don't know if it's kind of scattered around the map, but I actually end up starting with a bear trap, and I can set this bear trap down and hope that people activate it. There you can see it in my left hand. So once that bear trap is set down and not activated, but kind of set, and you should see me kind of do that here. I'm going to set it close to the generator because I'm thinking that someone's going to be by here a decent amount. I'm trying to find a good spot to put it. Go ahead, I set it, and if a survivor steps in that, they're going to be stuck and they have to be rescued. So survivors can be rescued from hooks, from their crawl / bleed out, and from bear traps, to my knowledge. However, you can also see here those kind of outlines. I can see outlines of certain things on the maps. I can see a couple of the generators, you can kind of see the hooks. I don't know if now's a good time to do that. Oh, and there you can actually, I'm finding another bear trap, as you can see, and I'm going to go set that so they are found throughout the map. But I am looking around, and there you actually see that little red, a couple of those red not semicircles, but lines pop up. That shows me a direction, and that a sound was created somewhere, so someone's probably messing with the generators, and this is where I got to go hunting after them and go on to the hunt, because if they activate all 3, they get away. Well, they get the chance to get away. I don't want to give them that chance. And here, oh, this is where the chase down begins. So she probably knows I'm chasing her because of that heartbeat. I don't think the hunter gets a heartbeat or anything like that, but as you can see, I am slowly faster than her. I hit her, but there is that obstacle I was talking about. She's able to do that. I have to destroy it or go around it, which is a huge delay and does give her a good chance to get away. However, you can that actually does create a sound, so when I wasn't too close behind her, she kind of lost me. She did throw one of those down. You kind of saw that pop up on my screen where it made a sound, and it helped with my echolocation to find her. Here you can see her not crawling, but kind of limping, so she's hurt. I think what happens is everyone gets a free hit. So the first time you get hit, you go into that kind of limp. The second time you get hit, you go into this crawl. So once she's in the crawl, now you're going to see what the whole sacrificial thing is like. I'm looking for these hooks. You can kind of see the structures. They're red outlines. They're scattered throughout the map. They are randomly placed. Like I said, I think it's procedurally generated. Where not like the entire map's random, but like the placement of everything is in the map, which kind of, I guess I just contradicted myself. Hopefully that made sense. Here I'm chasing off another guy because I found him. I think he was making some noise, or I saw him in the distance. But this is actually... the person on the hook is going to get rescued here because I'm going to spend too much time chasing after this guy. Or no, actually, I'm able to get hitting on him. No, but I think she does end up getting rescued. This guy's able to get really far away from me. He's limping, all that crap. I think I do end up getting him. But if you pay attention in the lower left-hand corner, you can see the status of all of the survivors. This guy enters his crawl. You have the one person on the hook, and then you have the two normal people. And, oh no, actually, the guy on the hook did die. Okay, so when they do die, and that's actually the best way of getting points as well. So, you get the most points. You get points for doing a lot of things as the killer. You get points for like hitting them, for stunning them. You can see it should pop up on the left-hand side. I think for hanging them, you get points too. Yeah, hook, you get points. That's how you level up, how you unlock new perks and whatnot for you to use. He actually got away right away. I think he tried escaping and has succeeded right away. There, I'm chasing another noise. And I actually noticed, I'm like, oh my god, he got away, what the hell? But yeah, in terms of points, also, I think there might actually be 5 generators, because I see in the lower left-hand corner. For some reason, I thought there was 3. But on the lower left, it says, like, there's a counter, 5 generators. I think that's how many more generators I have to activate. Here, I'm still chasing after and whatnot. So as you guys can see, oh, there she actually, oh, so I didn't know that actually. I think that was already down, but I think she can actually vault over it while I have to go after it. But you're seeing on the left-hand corner, not left-hand corner, left-hand side, that I do get a lot of points. Well, there's a lot of different ways of getting points, but the ultimate way of getting points, to my knowledge, is hanging someone and killing them. You do get, I think, a good amount of points for killing people, but the most points is by sacrificing them, which is throwing them on the hooks. Like I said, the hooks scattered throughout the map, but there's also a basement, kind of like a meat cellar, not meat cellar, meat locker type thing, and that is where there's just a plethora of hooks. There's only one entrance in, and that's a really safe place to do it, but it can be kind of out of the way after you take other people down, so it's kind of also a risk/reward type thing, because you don't want them, because I know it takes time out of your, it takes time out of your day. I sound like it's just everyday life, like, oh, I'm a murderer, I gotta go do some chores, go hang some people on hooks. But it does take time out of your it's pretty much out of your way, because you do have to go out and look for it, and it's not just like you can find a hook along the way somewhere. And here, as I was mentioning before, you can see the generators being activated. I mentioned that a couple times, but I do kind of want to reiterate that sound is very important for the hunter. That is how he pretty much will find the survivors, unless he's just lucky, unless he sees them. Here, pretty much what I'm doing, I know that their numbers are starting to thin out a little bit. I'm making sure this guy goes down. I'm making sure he gets sacrificed to whatever Devillian gods there are. I think once he gets stabbed by all those things, I think that means he can no longer struggle. And there he's being lifted away, which is horrifying. I actually did not expect any of that crap. But something I didn't mention yet, and I probably should have while you guys were watching the Survivor gameplay, is that playing as survivors is actually really like heart pounding. So, because literally your heart will pound in game, and that kind of like, I don't know if it's just because it's stressful or if it actually like correlates. And here you can actually see me do the kill. You can see M1 is kill. I'm doing that. I'm holding her. We're about to just slice her up, get an easy kill. I do want to see what the points are like for doing it that way. Do we actually get more or less? Oh, I think that counts as a sacrifice, which is actually good. We got 1,500 points for that. That's a lot of points. But the game mode is super fun, super exhilarating, because like your heart's pounding. You know when the killer's nearby, so like you know when to run. You're like, oh crap, is he behind me? Because it's third person when you're a survivor, but if you look behind you, you kind of gotta stop for a second because you can't rotate your camera. It's my knowledge, but he can, like, if you turn around, you'll see him. You'll lose a couple precious seconds time of running away. And that's just a recipe for some bad news bears. But for real, literally like the first time I got off, like kind of like took it in after I died, I like kind of checked my heart. I'm like, holy crap, my heart is pounding. So it's not even like jump scares though. That's what I love. It's kind of like an actual horror movie, like a good one, not one that relies on jump scares, kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's, but literally like you're kind of crapping yourself because you're like, oh my god, he's close, I'm scared. Here, getting the final kill, gonna go hang around a hook. I think it takes me a little while to find this hook actually. And playing as the hunter is super fun because you literally get to murder people. Like, you can do that in a lot of games, but I don't know. It's actually really satisfying playing as the hunter. And as you guys saw, I did pretty good. Like, I don't think they were able to finish activating any of the generators, but you do have to keep in mind that these are pretty much 4 random people. They don't have a strategy. They're pretty much just hopping into the game and enjoying it and seeing what it's like because it's literally just PAX. And that's where you kind of got to take into account. If you're playing with friends, you can be communicating, figuring out a strategy, everyone going for different like generators. Even if you're just playing with other friends, you can kind of know their tendencies, know what they're going to do. And it does allow, I don't know, it's just like, it might seem very unbalanced. And if you're playing with randoms, sure, it might be like that because you don't know if they're good, if they have no clue what they're doing, any of that crap. But you do have to keep in mind that it's PAX, you know, it is PAX, and in terms of balance, it does seem unbalanced, but people were winning as the survivors. I think the creatures were actually playing right before me, and they went on a nice little win streak as the survivors, but I don't know, you know, that's just me. I sucked as a survivor, but that's just the fact that I suck in general at that type of stuff. I hate running away. I like murdering things. I don't like running away. Although I survived for a while, so I was happy about that. But in terms of balance, we'll have to see once the full game launches. I think it's alright, but I'd have to see what it's like. I'm just going off of what I heard with like the creatures. They did pretty good playing as like the 4 survivors, pretty much. But in terms of balance, that's going to be pretty important, but it looks pretty good. I don't know, I've been talking a lot. Hopefully all of this talking, all of these words, hopefully they were somewhat organized and I were able to give you guys a decent idea for the game. If there's anything I might have forgotten or any questions you guys have, please do ask them in the comment section down below. I will be happy to reply to them and let you guys know pretty much what I know about the game, because like I said, I'm just going for it and making this video. So good chance I forgot something. If I did, ask it down below. If there's anything you might want to know, ask it down below and just do that. Also, I'd appreciate if you guys hit that like button. It does a ton to make me happy, so thank you if you do, and if you don't, no biggie. But yeah, that's gonna go ahead and do it for me. So we got a couple more videos on stuff in PAX. Hopefully my ear is better by then, because it is really annoying talking to myself, because like it feels like I'm talking at a 45-degree angle to the right, and it's really weird. I don't know, because like, I don't know, it sucks. I'm gonna stop talking, you guys probably don't care. But thank you guys so much for watching the video as always, and hopefully I'll see you next one.